My name is Matt Wallaert. I'm an applied behavioral scientist. I've been leading applied behavioral science teams for the last 20 years or so. And a couple of years ago, we noticed that the rate of uptake of new applied behavioral science teams was slowing a little bit. So a bunch of colleagues got together and we said, what can we do about this? How can we speed things up? So we formed a collective and we just started doing one thing and one thing only. We didn't take on any behavioral science projects. We didn't try and change anybody's behavior other than one thing, which was, how do we help organizations build behavioral science teams? And so as I capstone today, we're going to bring out some friends in a few minutes to chat with you on a panel, but I'm going to tell you a few things that we've learned over the last couple of years. And the most important for sure is that people follow process. One of the problems of applied behavioral science is people often think that it resides in a person. They're like, there it is! There's the applied behavioral scientist over there. But it's not true, it's all of you. Every single person in this room is an applied behavioral scientist. It is a human thing that we all do. I have a son, he's 8 right now. And about 5 years ago, I published a book, actually exactly 5 years ago today. And I started writing it when my son was born, because I noticed he was changing my behavior, right? He's a baby. He wants me to come in, he cries, I come in and comfort him. He changes my behavior all the time. Now, you could argue that wasn't science, but I can tell you that kid was testing my patience. So the first thing I want you to do as you start to bring this back to your organization as you go home after this wonderful event, and thank you to Rare for putting it on, is I want you to think of yourself as an applied behavioral scientist. And instead of thinking about behavior and science as binary, right? It's either scientific or not, it's either behavioral or not, I want you to think of them as continuous. We can get better at focusing on behavior all the time. We can get more scientific all the time. We all know that there are gold standard scientific, double-blind, randomized controlled trials, but you can't always do that. But even a pilot, even something small, even trying it before you roll it out, is more scientific than doing nothing at all. Does that make sense? All right. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to think of your organization in 3 parts: an impact model, a behavioral model, and an operational model. Because behavioral science is sort of like a genie, right? Our job is to make the outcomes that you want true. But we need partners, we need good wishers to make accurate wishes. What I can't tell you is what behaviors to change. My job is to get those behaviors to change. So you need an impact portion of your organization that's saying, these are the behaviors we want to focus on. Now remember, we're trying to be more behavioral in those wishes, right? More behavioral in those wishes. All the time I get CEOs that say, hey, I want people to love my product. I want people to love this topic. I want people to love our planet. I don't know what love is, but I want you to show me. What do you mean? Right? When you say you want people to love the planet, what does that mean? You want to give it a big old hug? Right? You have to tell me physically, literally, who is going to be doing what when we're successful. You need to put the behavioral in behavioral science. We need that from our partners. And then on the operations side, those folks who scale the solutions that we're able to create, I need you to recognize that science is a continuum. I can't come to you with absolutely bulletproof evidence and tell you absolutely without a doubt that if you do this thing, it will work for everyone all of the time. We're not trying to play perfect chess in science. We're trying to play better poker. I'm trying to narrow the odds to make something more likely to be true. Because here's the greatest thing about behavioral science. It's not just about what you do, it's about what you don't do. It's about those innovations that you test and then discover, hey, there's not enough evidence to roll this out, even though I love it, even though I think it would be great, even though funders would fund it. If it doesn't work, you don't have to do it. Behavioral science is inherently sustainable science because it allows you to kill things that don't make sense in the world. Do less is just as important as do more. So, you're going to think of yourself as more behavioral and more scientific. You're going to make sure that your organization has some form of impact. Hey, how are we measuring what success means to us? And how am I communicating that to the people then who are trying to make that true? And as our operational partners, you're going to understand that the best we can do is narrow the odds. So when something doesn't work, come back, we'll help you fix it. I'm going to take my leave now because I didn't quite cut it in half. I was close, though. But I'll be right back with some friends. See you in just a second.